Oh, okay, I have a 92 Corvette, and the other day I replaced all the plugs and plug wires. The car currently is on jack stands, so I thought I'd make a quick video of the plug wires. Normally, what I do, it's only up this high because I replace the air deflector down there, but normally I'll jack the car up front and rear about 4 or 5 inches higher, remove the front tires so you can walk up to it, have a clean work area. To do the plug wires, really simple. You're replacing them, so don't care, just grab them, yank the things off of there, twist and pull, and you be careful of the plugs, but you shouldn't damage the plugs. Just twist and pull them off. On the passenger side, you have clear access to all the plug wires down there. Then what I did was this. Also back here, if you notice the plugs right there, those are the longer, you can see it down there. It should come with 2 longer solid spark plug boots, and the reason is because you have the dipstick and you also have a sensor right under here. And the easiest way to try to put one of these back there, be too difficult. So I just use the regular, the longer ones back there. Should come with 2. Then what you do is this, or what I did was this. I took them all off. You'll see right here. Let me turn on the light. Shut. There we go. Okay, then what you do is this. Here's the distributor. Number 2's on the bottom, 864, and I worked my way from the bottom to the top. So in other words, I went from 2, 8, 6, and 4. Instead of going, like in order, trying to do it up here, I did it from the distributor. The other side, driver's side, same thing. 1, 7, 3, 5. So 1, 7, 3, 5. Okay, so that's the way I did it on this side. Also, the spark plug boots, the new ones, should come with a gel specifically for spark plug wires. Take a little screwdriver, dip it in, put a little bit, not much, you don't need much, on the inside. Not a whole lot, trust me. On this side here, the distributor end of it, same thing. You want to just dip it in and lightly just put a little bit, maybe half around, because what I do is this. On this side here, say this number 2, I'll turn it and twist it in, so you're lubricating the whole thing. Then when it stops, push it straight in, and I believe this is a double click, I think. The boot itself was single, but here on the distributor is double. Also, when you wire all the plug wires, I had 8 millimeters, so I don't have any wire looms. I just wire them out of the way lightly, because you don't want the wire touching the intake manifold, or the exhaust manifold. You don't want to do that, so you want to keep all your wires out of the way. Also, down here, route them through just like they came out. I particularly was not worried about the wire looms or anything, because I don't particularly care. If you do, a lot of work. Trust me, I wouldn't do it. But this side here is a little more difficult. You got a lot of stuff to remove. You got to remove the sensor, remove this right here, the clamp. Then there's this bolt. They're just long screws. Remove that. That one can stay. This, slide it forward. And what I've found is, this is the air cleaner assembly. What I've found is this. When you go to install it, it's easier if you tilt it up, tilt it at an angle, get the bottom on first, and then bring it around, and then you can tighten up that clamp. Okay, this is removed. Then what I do is, see that little electrical connector right there underneath the water pump? It's right there. Anyway, what I do is this. I remove that, get it out of the way, then I'll drain the coolant, because I drain it pure. You don't need to, I just do. because it's easier to work on the car, especially because you're going to have to remove the tensioner. So you drain the coolant, put a bucket under the front, loosen the radiator cap, it'll drain the coolant out faster. Once that is drained, then you can remove this clamp, and this one. Remove this assembly. There's a bolt right down there for the air conditioner bracket. It's, I think, 10 millimeter, remove it. And then that way you can move the radiator hose slightly forward. Not radiator hose, but the air conditioner hose slightly forward. And because you got to get that pulley off. So to get this off, I think that's 5/8, the bolt right there. That's 5/8, that's a tensioner. Just use a ratchet, a regular 5/8 socket, and a little piece of PVC that goes over the end. It works like a little breaker bar. Also, let me show you this really quickly. Here's a good example of what I've learned. There's different sockets, ratchets I should say. See the difference in thickness? If you use a thick one, like this one will not work. This one does because it's a lot thinner. And because you're going to need to get it in between part of the frame here. And if it's too deep, you're not going to be able to. So anyway, with all this removed, you can bring it forward, pull it forward. I disconnect it from up here. I remove this, then back here I pull the belt this way. You don't need to remove the belt totally. Don't do that. It's too much work to get back on. Or at least, you know, I'm lazy. Then this down here, I think that's a 9/16. You'll want to take a 9/16. There's one bolt that holds that on, and it also has a pin. So when you go to install it, you know, you can feel and you can get it set and then just put the bolt through. So there's one bolt that holds that on. You'll like wiggle it out. You'll move this forward, this line, move it forward, wiggle that out. Now you have a clear shot for all the spark plug boots on the distributor. Then what I do is this, lift up on this, take this off, remove it up to here, take that bolt off and that one, loosen, loosen, loosen. This panel slides forward. You can remove it, get rid of that panel. Now you have clear access to the number 1 and number 3 spark plug boots. So you do that. Again, when you wire them up, if you're not using the harness, keep everything away. These from the exhaust manifold. These back here, the 5 and 7, you can get to from the top or you can get to it from underneath. Also, I disconnect the negative. Whenever I do electrical or anything, I disconnect the negative so there's no power to the car. Then, let me see, what else? Root them through. Keep them away, as I said, from the exhaust, but root them through. Make sure you'll see the way the old ones were rooted, like mine come around and go right through here. There's a pipe going down. It's on the inside of the pipe. Keep them away from the belt. You don't want them near the belt. Okay, then when you're done, put them all on, start on the bottom, put them in, make sure they click and they don't come off because sometimes they're really tight. So you want to push them in, and when they click, I always turn it just a little bit to make sure they're on. Then to put everything back together in reverse order, close the valve up here. There's a little brass vent valve right down here. You'll loosen it just a little bit and you'll fill the radiator with 50-50 mixture. And then a little bit of fluid will start to come out here. Well, what happens is, what I do is I put a paper towel under there. I'll keep filling it. When it's full here, I'll close that valve, then I'll start the car. And as you know, if you rev the motor up, fluid will come out, pour up all over. So what I do, I start the car, keep filling it. I'll take a little screwdriver and I'll put the little screwdriver right in here, which gives it a little higher RPM, which drops this. Then what I'll do is I'll fill it full till it's like full. Then I'll put the cap on. Then I'll remove the screwdriver. Okay, well, I think that's it. It's really simple to do. You know, and let's see, one last thing. Yeah, I think I did tell you. You can get to these two possibly from underneath the car. All right, well, there you go. Then just put it together and you're done. And hey, at least mine runs really well. Okay, well, good luck to you.